Okay, this is the last video tutorial for Lab 5, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to identify which object is the fading supernova in your supernova data set. So let me share my screen. Okay, here we are in Afterglow, and I've already loaded this data set in from the sample directory. This is a supernova that was discovered with the PROMPT telescopes some time ago. It's one of the things that PROMPT does, is we search galaxy after galaxy after galaxy, taking hundreds of pictures of galaxies every night, waiting for a star to explode. It only happens about once every 100 years per galaxy, but if we image enough galaxies, we make these discoveries. And this is one of those data sets. You can never predict when they're going to occur, so we have to use archival data. And it's in the sample directory, and I've already loaded it up. Now in the lab, we provide a finder chart right here, and you can see the galaxy there, and we've indicated which star you should use as your reference star, though we haven't told you which of these points of light is the supernova. And so you're going to have to figure that out by doing something that we call image differencing, in the same way that we had to do it to discover the supernova in the first place. So let me move this out of the way. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the first image in the data set and the last image. In the first image, the supernova should be bright. In the last image, which was taken many, many days later, it should be mostly faded away. So the first thing we're going to want to do is to align these two images. So we'll come over here to the aligning tool, and we're going to select the images we want to align. The first one, and slide on down and select the last one. And the rest we can leave as is, astrometric, overwrite, submit. Okay, the first and last images have been aligned. And now that they're aligned, what we can do is we can difference them or subtract the second one from the first. So if there's a bright supernova in the first and not in the second, when we subtract those two images, everything else in the image should disappear. The stars are not changing in brightness, the galaxy's not changing in brightness, so they'll cancel out. But that supernova will still be there because it's bright in the first image and dim in the second. So let's do that. We go to the image calculator. That's this tab right here. And we want to be in simple mode, image mode, and we're going to select the first image. We're going to select subtraction, and then we're going to select the last image. So first image minus the last image. And do not select overwrite. We'll let this output to a separate image. I'm going to submit. Okay, just process the job. So if we slide down, we can see there's a new file there. Let me load that up. And that's the difference image. Now the weird stuff along the edges, it's just because the two images didn't line up perfectly. So we can ignore that part. But the rest is the overlap region between the two images. And you can see it's mostly empty. Most things cancel out. There's a little bit of smudges left over here and there. They may be imperfect cancellations or things that changed in brightness from the first image to the last. But the most obvious thing is this bright spot here at the center. And we're going to use that spot to help us figure out which star in the original image is the supernova explosion. So to do that, come over here to the gear. We're going to split our screens, and we're going to sync the orientations. Okay, let's come back. So we have the difference image up here, and in the bottom window, let's click on that. Let's just load in the first image again. And they're synced, so they move together. So if we zoom in on that extra point of light in the difference image, that tells us which object is the supernova. It's the one that's really close to the galaxy, and usually that's the case. It will be very close to the galaxy. So all that we have left to do is to mark and label it. So let's go over to the Marker tab. I'm going to turn Centroid Clicks on, and I'm going to click on it in the first image in the data set. If I click on it again, I can add a label. Let's put supernova, SN for supernova. Then I'm going to zoom in and frame these, and we just have to save them. I'll save the difference image, and then I'll save the marked and labeled supernova image. And then you upload those into WebAssign. So just returning to our Finder chart, we now know that, again, this is the reference star, and this right here is the supernova. Okay, that's it.